Hey, it's Tommy Allen from TommyAllenMusic.com. Welcome. This week we have the amazing Emma Jonson. Come check it out. Thank you very much for taking part.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you for having me.
It's good to get more female artists on.
Yeah.
I don't think we've crossed paths much, have we? I can't recall us meeting ever.
We haven't, no. I think I live in my own little bubble and my own little world, so I don't think I have met you before, no.
So, tell me a bit about yourself. I know that you play sort of blues piano and sing. So, tell me a bit about what you do in your band.
Oh my God, this is like the most in-depth question to start with because I do so much. I know, where do you go?
Well, when did you start learning the piano?
Oh, since I was like an embryo. I was about 5 or something. I've been playing the piano forever. And I went pro when I was 18. Did a few like really good tours and everything. Gave up when I was about 23.
Okay.
And then I started again in my early 30s, and I'm here now, and I'm touring, and I've got my own band, and I'm in an American band, and that's just the brushstroke over the top of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you started out, then was you into blues at that time?
Yeah, well, I didn't. I started out and I played the piano, and I went around with Jamie Cullum for a bit. So he was just getting started. So I was on tour with him, but I didn't sing. So I just played the piano, and I was quite green back then, really green, and I found it very difficult to get a career out of it. So I gave it up actually and went on to something else. And then I thought, oh my God, this is something I'm really passionate about, and I just ended up coming back into it and made it a full-time career again now.
Right, okay. So what did you do in that gap year?
I went to London and trained to be a barrister. So I'm a criminal litigation barrister as well. I know, it's ridiculous. I mean, what a ridiculous thing to go and do.
It's quite cool.
I don't know about
so
that.
you haven't been stitched up getting paid for many gigs then?
No. Oh God, no. The band I played in America, this Boogie, the first tour I ever did with them, we were in Belgium somewhere, I think, and this guy decided not to pay us. And I tell you what, the wig went on, and over I went, and I had a couple of glasses of wine, and so I'm officially now their piano player, manager, and lawyer.
So you're like soul, innit, from that?
Oh, we got paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from that gap, then you come back into it. Have you got a family, like kids and stuff, or?
Oh God, no. No.
We got a husband. That's close enough, isn't it?
Well, no, I've got a ring. We're not married yet, and so he's downstairs. We've got a cat called Mog.
Oh, you might like because we got loads of cats show up in our videos at the end.
Oh, I love my cat. I really want to get a dog, but I've got a cat and a vegetable patch and a partner. That's all you need.
And the piano.
and a piano. Yeah.
So you now, when you come back into it, did you have your own band then, or you was working for other people?
No, well, what happened is I moved back from London to Birmingham, and I met up with some old muso friends, and they took me to the Hot Pole in Bromsgrove, and I met up with Steve Clayton. I don't know if you know him, boogie piano player, and he invited me to play. I think he thought I was just some weird girl that could play the piano, and he seemed to take to me. So then I got invited to play at Marlborough Jazz Festival on the main stage through just that one gig. And I won Best Newcomer. And then I thought, oh, maybe I could do something with this. And then instead of getting a job as a lawyer back in Birmingham, the music just took off. Since winning that Best Newcomer award a few years ago, I've just become full-time, and I've been booked on festivals, and then I put a band together. And it's just all snowballed from there, really.
And does your partner play?
Yeah, he's a drummer. He plays for Climax Blues Band. So I met him 5 years ago, and now he plays in my band as well.
Cool.
So yeah.
That's really good. Well, I see the drums behind you. The practice ones.
Oh, they drive me mad. He's got 4 of them.
Has he got them as tables yet?
We live in a tiny little cottage with 4 drum kits in it. It's just.
It's all right. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
So what? How many CDs you got out?
So when I was with Jamie Cullum, I had one out then, which I don't have a copy of. Then I've got an EP which I did 3-4 years ago called Paradox, and then I've got my latest album, Crazy, which is a bit of a weird one actually. It's with a mix of genres, so it's not completely blues because I'm a bit of a strange act really. Bit of blues, bit of everything. So
is it all self-penned?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Apart from one, I do a cover of Layla, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And where would you say your inspiration is for writing? What artists do you like as writers?
Oh my God, everybody. There's not much I don't like. So the boogie woogie side started out with the typical Miade, Lux Lewis, Albert Hammond, all that stuff. I used to play that on repeat constantly. So I was 16 just playing Albert Hammond. I mean, what female 16-year-old girl does that? All my mates were at nightclubs and I was there playing boogie woogie. It was just so weird. So that, and I like Elton John.
Yeah, he's a great songwriter.
Absolutely love him. So I love Fleetwood Mac as well. There's a lot. I think you can hear a lot of Fleetwood Mac stuff in my writing.
Yeah. And what about Marcia Ball? People like that?
Yeah, God. Yes, just a little bit. I didn't come across her until I'd say about 6 years ago, which is quite shameful. But there's very few female boogie woogie piano players out there, and obviously she's the icon for women.
Yeah, I saw her play. I think in it might have been 96 in Southsea. There's a big blues festival, and she was there. And I met her after. She's really, really nice.
Was she?
Yeah, really down to earth.
What was she like live?
Live, amazing. Great piano player.
Yeah,
great energy.
She appeals to the audience, doesn't she?
Yeah, but I was like a teenager there, and about 16, 17.
Yeah.
And she come and just sat down with us at the table and having a drink and just chilling out. She was really nice. Really down to earth person.
I've really known of her when I was, because I'm in my 30s now. I wish I'd known who she was and when she was touring, because I'd love to have seen her.
Can you remember what your first song was you wrote?
Yes, it was a song called Young Girl, and that is actually on the album. And it was about a boyfriend, as they all are when you're a teenager. Yeah.
So is that on this new one?
It is. Yeah, I just play solo piano, and it's about falling in love too young, blah blah, violins and all that. So that's what it's about. But that's the first song I wrote. Yeah.
Okay. And is that one you could play now then? If it's a
Oh gosh, I can play it on the piano.
Yeah.
No.
Is it not? Is it on piano then, or do you do it on something else?
I sing as well. That kind of vibe. Hang on, let's see what I can't remember what key I did it in. Oh geez, right, I've got the microphone working. Okay. Right, I haven't done this for ages, so I don't know what key it's in.
Young girl, just 17, fell in love with one little girl, just 17, fell in love so out of sight. Young girl, just 17, never had this understanding. Little girl, just 17, if she had a chance again. I'm looking back in time, I see never should have been here. Looking back in time, I see never should have started. Looking back in time, I see never would have been.
It goes on like that.
So
that's the first one I wrote. It's a very Elton John-y, girly whirly stuff.
That sounds nice, and that's just voice and piano then on the album.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds good with a band as well.
It would. We started out as a bit of a rock song. The first recording I did, and I had, do you know Scott Devine, the bass player? I had him on bass, so he's on backing vocals and bass, and he helped me write that a little bit.
Oh, okay.
That was a long time ago that came out.
And how old was you when you wrote that?
I must have been 17 or 18. That's the first full song I wrote. I mean, I was writing earlier than that, just rubbish stuff, but that's the first completed recorded song.
Yeah. Do you have a method now for your songwriting, or is it just as it comes? Or
Well, I'm trying to get out of my method because what's happening is all the songs are sounding the same, and the band are getting sick of it because it's like the same changes. So I'm really challenging myself to write differently. So I'm listening to a lot more jazz records, a lot more Steely Dan. Just trying to get a bit more interest to get away from this very bland 4/5 chord style. So I did have a method, a very sort of set structure of chords that I'd write around. But I'm trying to change that. I'm challenging myself to write better.
And what about the boogie stuff that I saw you do?
Do you know, this is what we were talking about earlier, is like cross genre. I don't want to completely focus on boogie woogie because I think it's quite an irritating style of music sometimes, and you can't play a whole concert of boogie. I think you need to have different stuff in there. So I'm focusing less on that, and I'm trying to become more of a rounded blues pianist and songwriter.
So for people like Fats Domino, which mix it sort of rock and roll and all that stuff.
Yeah, so I do a bit of that, but that would only be part of my set now. So I'd say 2 or 3 tracks of boogie woogie, rock and roll. The rest is focused on a bit more songwriting.
So do you have any other hobbies?
I play hockey. I used to play for Harborne Ladies for a while, so I'm quite vicious when I want to be on the hockey pitch. Got a broken collarbone to prove it. So.
And what books are you reading at the moment with the lockdown?
I'm not reading anything at the moment, but I'm going to Croatia tomorrow, and I've packed the what's his name, the tattooist of Auschwitz, that one. So I've packed that in my bag for a bit of Croatia reading for tomorrow. But I haven't read anything over lockdown because I've been focused on setting up a new online business and writing a new album.
Okay, what's that? Do you want to promote that at all, the online business?
Not just yet, but I definitely will do probably in about 2 months' time. But it's all music based, and so we're quite excited about that. So
where can they find out about that then in the future?
That's going to be launched on my Facebook page and my personal website as well. So
which is
emmajonson.com without the H. Do you know, I had to take the H out because I did a concert at Sutton Town Hall, and I was signing CDs afterwards, and this guy comes up to me and he said, "Yeah, that was good, but I want my money back because I was expecting Emma Jonson, the clarinet player." And I was like, I just didn't know what to say.
She said, "No, I've given that up."
I was like, "Do you want to buy a CD or I don't know?"
So that's why you removed the H, because of that.
I've had to, because Emma Jonson, she's like this big deal clarinet player, so yeah.
Dear me. So do you have any Desert Island Disc? Your favourite album?
Definitely Fleetwood Mac. I'm always playing that when I'm cooking.
Which?
The Rumours album.
Okay.
The classic one. I love Carole King as well, Tapestry. Elton John, Sacrifice. So these are all songwriting things for me. I know. I'm not a typical blues pianist, am I?
No, that's all right. That's all right. Do you set goals with your music?
I do, because I can't play jazz very well.
Right.
So I'm setting myself the task of being able to play more modal scales and a bit of Latin. So yeah, I think you do need to keep improving yourself, don't you? You can't, as a musician, stay constant. And
with the releases, do you set goals? Like for your album, do you have a goal of like where you want it to be, what platforms you want it to be on, and when? And
yeah, well, I will do for the next one, because the mistake we made with the last one, we spent too much time in the studio. I didn't set the goal, and then we spent too much time in the studio tweaking, and the bass wasn't prominent enough and the drums weren't, and in the end you just drive yourself mad. And the release date went on a lot longer than I wanted it, so the next one, yeah, we'll be setting some dates.
Who mixed the last one?
We had Silk Mill Studio up in Newcastle. Tom Bishop, I don't know if you know him, he did the Climax Blues Band album as well. So we had him producing, mixing. So it's quite a highly produced album, this one.
Okay. What, the one that's coming, or the one before?
The one that's just been crazy.
Okay.
The one we're doing over lockdown is going to be a bit more raw, a bit more live, and yeah.
And where are you recording this one, at home or?
Well, I'm hoping at the bass player's house. I haven't spoken to him about this yet, but because he's got his own studio, so hopefully.
Some of the studios are open now for working.
Yeah, well, we've got a setup here. I know you probably see the drums and stuff, so we can mic everything up and send it over to, you know, maybe Jeff's studio to mix. So I think we might do it that way.
Yeah, that's cool. Because the one friend of ours is Gospel Oak Studio, which is sort of Worcester way.
I've heard of Gospel Oaks.
Yeah, and that's open.
Yeah.
It's a band in. So if you're stuck or need space, that might be one worth giving.
Yeah, yeah.
Baz's name is the guy that runs it.
Yeah, I've definitely definitely heard of them. So I think with this album though, we just wanted it to be a bit rawer. You know what I mean? A bit more. Not so, because the other one is so produced. It's probably too produced.
So, what's the best piece of advice you've been given?
Practice every day, and don't. So as I say, Roy, he practices the drums every day. And when I first met him, I was quite a lazy musician, and he pulled me up on it. He said, "You need to practice every day, and you have to practice to a metronome as well." That's the other thing. So keep working to a metronome and keep pushing yourself. Don't just stay complacent. Like, there's a lot of musicians who don't. They form bad habits and keep them going.
If you could go back in time and relive any day, that one day, where would you go and why?
I think qualifying. I know it's a really sad thing, but I put so much work and effort into it. I put 6 years, and to finally qualify, and I was quite proud of that. So that's a good day, but that's quite a self-indulgent thing, isn't it?
Who's playing in your CD player today?
Me.
You.
I've been critiquing the recordings.
Okay.
So I've been we've done some basic recordings, and I've been playing them back to just see how good or how crap they are. So.
And what's the verdict?
It needs a bit more work. So, I think it's important too, though, isn't it? You've got to listen to yourself back, and I'll never watch a live performance back ever. I've done that, but audio, yeah, definitely.
What's your views of people filming at gigs, like and putting on YouTube and stuff?
Do you know what? I don't like it. Is that an awful thing to say?
Well, it's mixed. That's why I always ask it, because some musicians are fine, others don't like it. You know, it's one of them.
I've had to ask people to take stuff down in the past, especially when you're first starting out as well, because there can be a lot of technical problems, and you don't really want that broadcast the whole wide world, because I think, especially promoters and everything, they judge you straight away what they see.
Yeah.
And that was some feedback that I got quite early on. Was, well, we looked you up on Facebook or YouTube, and there's a video of you with the lights going on and off in a pub, and it looked crap. So I asked this person to take all these types of videos down, and I'm not a huge fan actually. That's awful, isn't it?
No, it's what you feel. I mean, like I say, it's one of them. Some are against it, some are okay with it.
I think you work so hard. I'm not very good at social media. My presence isn't that great. I'm better at being on the road and touring, actually. I'm still catching up on it. But it is hard when you try and build up a brand and an image, and then just one little thing can change that, and it can change someone's opinion, because opinions are quite fickle sometimes, aren't they? People make a snap choice, and...
Well, people judge with their eyes too quickly and not with their ears.
Yeah. And I'd much rather people came and watched bands, be it myself or anybody else, go and watch them live. Don't stand there with a recorder, just enjoy it. And that's more me. Yeah. Stop recording me.
If you could go back in time and give a younger you some advice, what would it be?
Oh God, it's all twisted. I wouldn't have done the law, actually. I would have probably stuck my guns with the music because I think it's a bit more me.
Yeah, but surely that's a good thing to fall back on. You've got it for life now.
Oh no. Well, no, because you have to keep your credits up. You have to keep practicing. I'm out of date now. I've been out of law for 6 years. So no, I can't really fall back on that. I have to do a lot of training, but no, I think once you make your mind up to do something, stick to it. So that's what I would have done. I'd have pushed it.
So do you have a day job at the moment?
No, I'm full time. Yeah, full time position. I completely sacked everything off and went full time.
And what about your partner? Does he work?
Full time musician as well. Yeah, so lockdown's been great. You know, we've had no work, no income. It's been wonderful. But we've got lots of courgettes anyway.
Yeah, your little patch out in the garden, yeah?
Got garden patch, got courgettes, that's all right.
So what's for the future then? You can get back out gigging, I guess, and promote the new one that's coming out?
Well, I hope so. We've, I've had a lot of tours cancelled this year. I was relying on the September tour to go ahead. That's just been cancelled. I'm just hoping next year picks up. We've had rescheduled dates for next year. I don't know whether to put all my eggs in the basket, and let's just hope it happens. But I think possibly teaching could be the way forwards for musicians now. I think they've got to be sensible and probably get a second job. I don't think any of us can rely on the industry, and it's quite scary.
So the quickfire questions: Superman or Batman?
Batman.
Comedy or horror?
Comedy.
Text or call?
Oh, I'm a bit of a texter. No, I'm a caller because I don't reply to texts.
Cookies or cake?
Oh, can I say neither?
What would you have instead then?
I'm a savoury girl. I'd have like
a pork pie.
A pork pie, yeah.
I'm going to have to add that in now, and I pork pie or cake.
Yeah.
Do you think opposites truly attract?
Yes, I think they do. Yeah. It's so annoying.
Do you think chemistry is instant or grows with time?
Completely instant. Nothing grows with time. Nothing.
Impulsive or methodical?
I'm actually both, but I'd say impulsive is more prominent.
Okay. Silence or conversation?
I'm quite quiet. Silence.
Love or money?
Love. That's why I live with a drummer, obviously.
Thank you for your time.
That's okay.
And we'll be in touch soon.
Okay, bye.
Hey, it's Tommy Allen from TommyAllenMusic.com, and that was Emma Jonson. You can find out more about her and her music at emmajonson.com, which is Jonson. Next week, we have the amazing drummer here in the UK, Mr. Sam Kelly. So come and check that out, 7 p.m. Wednesday, right here on Tommy Allen Music. Please give us a like, hit the subscribe button. Until next week, a word from our director. Coco! Where is she? Damn cat.